Hello, welcome back to the ministry. I accidentally cut the video off. Picking up where I left off, she was on the muzzle and she didn't know what in the world to do at this particular point in time. So she ended up in a situation where she had to make a decision. But lo and behold, here comes Tramp to the rescue. He comes down and he starts making a scene. He's like, oh, and he starts telling the other dog about her. She's thinking that he's talking about the other dog. And then she realizes, it takes her a minute, that he's trying to set her up in such a way to get out of there. Your God-ordained spouse has a little bit of a street smarts element about him that you could actually end up in a situation. And if you go there by yourself, you might end up in a situation. Meaning, if you go ahead of God, you might end up in a situation. You take a leap, you might end up in a situation. But your God-ordained spouse, your deliverer, your whoever, he gonna come in. And he's got enough smarts to talk himself or talk you out of the situation that looks like the way it looks. He can talk the situation into a clear path for you to get out of. But because you don't understand how his world works, you haven't quite gotten it. So he gets you out of there. So she's like, okay, now I'm going to go home and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you going home. So, you do realize you're going in the wrong direction, right? She said, I knew I was going in the wrong direction. I was just trying to, I see something over there before I went. And he was like, and then she turned around and walked in the opposite direction. He said, you know it ain't that way either, right? And she's like, okay, I don't know which way. Which way? He said that way. Your God-ordained spouse has the route you need to go. You can think that you're going into the industry that you're supposed to go into, going into the lifestyle you're supposed to go to, think you're going into whatever it is you're supposed to go into. But you have no GPS system. Go look at the GPS system word I released a few weeks, about like a week or so back. It may have been a couple weeks back. But go back and look at that word. That he got the directions. You don't. And in this case, he's your positioning system. Just like you would be his positioning system, in his world, he's your positioning system. So you can't walk without him. You have no idea which way you're going without him. And you ain't gonna get there if you don't go with who? Him. Because he can direct you exactly how to get to where you're trying to go. So they start walking, and he says, we're going to take the scenic route. She says, the scenic route. This reminds me of when the Lord led me the scenic route in order to get where I was trying to go when I was in New York. Lord said, I'm going to take you the scenic route. And I was like, the scenic route? Showed me in a dream that I fell backwards off the bridge, which seemed like the regular normal route to go, into the water ravine that I had to go up underneath of where it was. And I'm like, wait, what? Excuse me. Some of y'all had to go the odd route around. Your God-ordained spouse, when he comes into your life, he's going to know the anointing on you. He's going to understand the anointing on you. He's going to understand the assignment on you. And because he's going to understand the assignment on you, he knows that he can't just walk with you anywhere. He's got to protect you Because one, you don't know the territory. So he's got to lead you through it. And because he's got to lead you through it, he's going to have to, may even have to give you a couple reality checks. Because the first thing that he gave her was, excuse me, I don't know if you have realized you are no longer in your home territory. You don't have a collar on. You are free bait. Meaning the dog catcher can come get you at any point in time. So you can think that you know what you're doing, but you need somebody to show you the ropes of these streets, or else you gonna get caught. You don't want to end up caught by the dog catcher. Your God-a-day spouse may have to give you some reality checks when you get to where you're going. He may have to show you, this ain't the world that you came from. This isn't what you walked out on. This isn't, nah. This is the real world right here. Some of y'all been way sheltered throughout your life because God kept you that way. And because God kept you that way, you may not know the world like that. For me, that was the case. But you may not know his world that way. Whatever world it is that he operates in that way. And because of that, it's going to be a scenario where you're going to have to follow behind him. So he's protecting you from being caught. For you, it will probably be being caught by the treacherous people that are in the arena in which he's in. Tiffany Montgomery released the word summertime 2018. It was either 18 or 19. And in it, she said that God's going to be taking you to places that you're going to be surrounded by vipers and snakes. Your God-ordained spouse is going to be the person that's going to lead you through the vipers and the snakes. He's going to be able to tell you how to get through them. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a better future, to keep you from harm. You better listen to that man, because there are things that he knows. He may not completely understand your anointing, but guess what? He will understand how to protect you in that realm, wherever that realm is, wherever it is God's taking you. If God has put him as your leader, best believe that where he's taking you, where he's protecting you, how he is keeping you in that season, know and know well that he's going to be the one to protect you from harm. So with that being said, you need to understand that he got enemies. Let's go back to Haman and Xerxes. There are people that are plotting behind your God-ordained spouse's back. Some of them, you might even know who they are. In this case, Tramp knew who it was. He knew it was the dog catcher. But he didn't know that the dog catcher and the person that was familiar with where he slept at had made a deal with each other. I remember hearing Stephanie P say a while ago that your enemies are coming together to make agreements to come against you. Yeah, making agreements to come against you. So you and your spouse are going to have to come together and use both of y'all heads in order to get through it. Just like Esther had to put herself in the position to work with Xerxes, work with Mordecai, to do what was necessary in order to protect Xerxes. You and your spouse are going to have to cross over together. Some of y'all don't know, and I got this feeling a long time ago when the Lord was walking me through the process with my God ordained spouse. But as he was walking me through the process, he kind of was giving me this wisdom, and in the midst of giving me this wisdom, I felt like I'm being prepared to elevate to where he is, but I think he's being prepared to be elevated somewhere else too. I don't know what that is. I haven't been privy to what that exact transition will be, but it's something coming, friend. Something coming for your God ordained spouse. Whatever that is, you two gonna have to cross over into it together. He's not gonna get there without you. You ain't gonna get to where you trying to get to without him. It's not gonna happen. So, with that being said, he's got a way in which he operates in order to get through and get to places. He jumped onto the boat. Some of y'all are going to have to jump. Y'all going to have to make a leap. They're going to have to make a leap. But you're smart. He may be street smart, but you have a plan. So because you have a plan, you're not going to operate quite as recklessly as he does. So you're going to, what she did was she just walked across the bridge. There was a bridge that led into the boat. She walked across it, went to stand next to a person that was dressed well. She looked like she could have been that person's dog. And the person with the tickets, like, oh, he's talking to the dog, and the woman don't even notice the dog's in there. She just come right on the boat. There are things that because of who you are, because of the anointing and the light on you, you're just going to be ushered right on in and right on through where they may have had to do something slightly different in order for them to get through. You're going to be ushered through because the favor on you is even going to change the way that they are interacted with. Okay? So she ends up elevating by going up the steps, follows him directly up the steps. Some of y'all going to elevate to the place in which you're supposed to be. So they ended up having an interesting conversation. So I'm trying to get y'all some more light because I feel like I'm losing the light. It's getting dark. But they end up having an interesting conversation about singing. For the people that are called to be in relationship, maybe your spouse is a musician, an entertainer, an actor, or what have you. Some of y'all are just called to have influence and your voices carry weight. We're going to look at this in both of those ways. So this conversation drew my attention. He said, he joked in the midst of the conversation, oh, I was a self-taught. Some of your spouses, whatever industry, fashion, music, acting, real estate, whatever it is, maybe they're an architect. I don't know. Think of anything. Whatever it is that the Lord has shown you that your specific person is called into, they were self-taught in it. Think about Jesus. Jesus was a carpenter. Now, he learned that from the family, but pitch. When you think of a person's pitch, you may have good pitch. If you're a singer, you may have good pitch. You may have good tone. whatever it is, they may have good, whatever it is for the industry that they're in. Uh, they're very acute with what they do. Their influence is very sharp. But you, when you come into the picture, you've got volume. Your voice makes an impact. And because your voice makes an impact, you're going to run into the fact that because your voice carries weight, carries impact, you're going to run into he's got something that you don't, and with what he has, he's going to be able to help you raise your value. You got value. You got something in you. You haven't gotten attention for it. But because he knows from the way that he had to learn, he can teach you. So they go out on the town. He leads her through the town. He shows her part of the cities in which she never even had the opportunity to have understanding of. Your God ordained spouse is going to show you things about your world and about the world from a point of view in which you've never seen before. Okay? So, he's going to invite you. Your invitation, go back and watch the invitation. Not the dark side of the invitation, unless you want to watch the dark side of the invitation. Watch the invitation, the one with the actual gold envelope that says the invitation. Now, with that, he's going to invite you. He's gone through certain experience. And let me explain the favor of Jesus Christ upon you. He's walked through certain experiences. He's done certain things. He's had it good. That's his little way about him. Some of y'all spouses just have this finesse about them, because some of them, let's just admit it, some of y'all spouses is just plain fine. They fine. They can walk. Anything they say out their mouth, they can get whatever they want. But something gonna happen when you show up. Something gonna happen when you show up. They might have been able to finesse a little something. But when you show up, they gonna see you and they gonna be like, oh, well, we're going to give you the best to you, the this to you, the that to you. And your goddamn spouse gonna be, wait a minute. Depending on what status he in, he gonna be looking like, wait, I'm the one with status. How come y'all never gave this to me? I'm gonna tell you why. Because the favor on you is gonna get him things that he didn't even expect that he was gonna get. Favor. What does it say in the word? He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains what? Favor. She gave him favor. He been going to that diner and eating there before, but they pulled out a table. They made up a little candle setup. They went and put out a menu. And they went and made the house special for them. Your husband might have him a little something. But when you come along, it's going to get upgraded. It's going to get upgraded. Why am it's like I said upgraded because I heard it. I heard the song. I just heard Beyonce singing. I know you be the block. But I'm the light that keeps the streets on. Normally walk alone. We ain't gonna sing the song, but you know what I mean. You about to upgrade him. He probably think that he got it. But when you come into the situation, you about to upgrade him. Believe me when I tell you. So, he's going to see the world in a slightly different manner because he walked with you. Ooh, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna keep that part to myself. Reminded me of something from a song, and I'm not gonna tell y'all. But he's just gonna see the world differently. Figure it out. He's going to show you a secret. Because he cares and loves you the way that he loves you, and he's seeing that you're the one that he wants, he's going to open up his heart in such a way that he's going to show you something that he don't show everybody else. He's going to take you to a place as he's showing you certain things, unlike what he does with everybody else. And because of that, it's going to be him letting his walls down that he wasn't even alert enough to see his enemy sneaking up on him. And they had to take off running. They get down to the bottom of the hill and he says, go. You go that way, I'll go this way. She's like, I ain't leaving you. He said, no, I need you to leave because. And she finally listens. They go and he's running away from his enemy and ends up getting trapped in the place that he normally sleeps at night. That in itself could say something. The places that he used to frequent, the places that he normally sleeps at, the places that he normally hangs out at, they're going to actually become traps to him. And I just got that off the top of my head as I began to focus on. They're going to become traps to him. The old places, if he thinks that he's going to continue to operate in the places and spaces that he was in before, they are literally going to become. Sorry, I need to turn this light on because I can't take it off. They're literally going to become traps for him. So because they're going to literally become traps for him, you're going to have to be the one in order to help him get out the trap. You're going to turn around and you're going to go back. Some of y'all, to my people that were in relationships, some of y'all been in relationships with your God ordained spouse and your God ordained spouse. It was good. But something happened. And that something that happened caused the two of you to have to separate. And because the whatever it was that caused the two of y'all to separate, the heartbreak in you is going to make you go back. You can only go back when God tells you to go back. And when God tells you to go back, it may be to do something to help them. She had the answer he needed in order to help him get out the trap. Just like Abigail had the answer that David needed in order to help him get out of a certain situation. She had the answer. Was it him or was it? I know that Abigail begged for her previous husband's life, but that's what led for her and David to come together. Point being, it's the answer is there. Esther 4:14, for such a time as this. And when I wrote that quote, it was exactly 4 minutes 4:14. Tell me that wasn't God. But by you coming back to help him, some of the things that your God ordained spouse is going through, they had to go through out of your sight. And sometimes, say it with me, y'all, some of us have wanted to go back when the Lord was saying, I need you not to interfere. For you interfering, some of y'all would have been putting yourself in direct danger, because the witchcraft, these Jezebels, somebody had a hit out on your life, you was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Come on now. And because of that, you actually were in danger. And because you were in danger, you now have to deal with the consequence of that. Some of you are going to have to go through some small wilderness seasons when you get to where you're going with your God ordained spouse. I've been through a wilderness season, but the way that this formatted, it kind of shows me that there may be a wilderness season that will come when, I mean, we always going in and out of wilderness seasons, but there's going to be a level of wilderness that there are going to be moments in which you're going to be dealing with certain elements that are going to place you in situations that are going to leave you in another form of wilderness. Okay? And this other form of wilderness is literally going, it's not going to be very long, but it's going to place you in a place that is going to test your trust of your God ordained spouse, because you are separated from him. And in this place of testing of your trust, you're going to run into friends of his, you're going to run into something in relation to him that is going to bring about or breed not so much contempt, but breed some confusion to tell you, you may not want to trust that, because these are people that know him. So they're going to have, information to say, oh, he told you that? He do that to all them chicks. Are you kidding me? That's what he do, That's what he do. You think you different? Girl, how did y'all wake up? You just another one of his. Don't fall for it. This may be a situation where you're meeting his people. You may be going to an event, and some of his people are at the event, and they might take the opportunity when they see you alone because he's going and smoozing with everybody else. They might try to corner you and tell you some stuff about him. Stephanie P said in a video where she was talking about someone, even the exes, would even try to come up because they see you by yourself, and they'll be like trying to tell you some stuff that he did and try to make it out like he's still in relations with them and all that kind of stuff. Take it as a warning. Don't trust it. Don't trust it as a setup. And the mental warfare, you best to be ready, because the enemy gonna try to plant the seed through these people to get you to misjudge his character. Okay, don't fall for it. Character assassination. The Lord showed me that in a dream. A literal character on a TV show being assassinated. I was like, oh, okay. I get it. But with that being said,
what you also need to be careful of, and I wanted to mention this since we here. I'm gonna have to start a new video, but I'm gonna say this as we go. Be careful, because some of y'all are getting ready to go into your pregnancy season, and you know you hormonal. Think about how you are during your period. Think about how that's gonna be for 9 months. You're gonna have to be guarding of yourself. Don't be quick to anger. Don't be quick to be frustrated. Don't be quick, because the enemy may use your hormonal self against you. You know how we are when we get into our hormones. Sometimes we easier to snap off. We're easier. We easier. And because we're easier, this is when you might see, because you're pregnant, and you know what happens when you're pregnant. Everybody wants to come by. Hey, how you do? Hey, I wanted to drop this off. Hey, I wanted to bring you in. Hey, I wanted to, hey. And they come in. And then that's when they use that opportunity to start. Hey, you and him doing okay? Everything good? I mean, I know you're pregnant and all that stuff. I know that can be stressful. Befriending. Then they start talking about, oh, you know, I mean, I saw and I this and try to get in your ear, and you already know you hormonal. Do not let the enemy turn you on him, because he's using your hormonability against you. Okay? Be aware, be alert, be discerning. Keep your eyes open. And I'm going to leave that there because we only got a couple more moments. So I'm going to come back because I cut the other video off. I'm going to see what I can do, because I think I can switch some stuff around. I'm going to be back. All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.